Okay, I'm back. See me, Missy. Try again. It was working. You won't believe what I did. When I went to get the headphones, I tripped over the extension cord and cut all the shit off. And then I went and stopped it when I got back on. Did you? Yeah, that's the other one. But I just deleted it. Uh, Try the new link. Try closing the page completely and then try the new link. I can't believe that I did that. I felt so stupid. It still probably got you in the old one. Yeah, but when I walked around there, it deleted me. I mean, I tripped over the extension cord and it turned my computer off. And then when I came back in, um, it's like the camera and stuff was still going. And so I didn't know what it may have picked up from me or you that we wouldn't want anybody to see. So I just deleted that old stream. Yep, there you are, coming back. Add to stage. Yep, there you are, coming back.
Hi. Trying to type and talk at the same time.
Yep, there you are, coming back.
Hi. Trying to type and talk at the same time.
Yep, there you are, coming back. Hi. You're
Yeah,
echoing.
you want to delete that other one.
Cut your volume off.
You definitely want to delete that other one because I was running around like an idiot trying to figure out camera angles and show off my Kane Hodder box set and a mess. Anyways, here it is. I can't really figure out where to hold it so you can see. There, I guess
There
you
you
hold
go.
it there. Can you
Yeah.
see it?
There you go.
Now can you see it?
Yeah.
He wrote it in dark ink.
Oh yeah, I see it. Okay, that's jealousy inducing.
This is awkward. Oh,
There
there
you
you
go.
go. I think you should be
Yeah.
able to see it now.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, you would have to have
I
headphones
can't hear
in.
you. Oops. God darn it. Hold on.
Other direction. Other direction.
Oh, no, just me myself. Now I can hear something. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
I can hear your scratchy sound.
Now I can hear something.
Like a scratchy noise.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
I can hear your scratchy sound.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, now I heard you that time.
You have to wear speaker. You have to wear headphones.
Okay, try saying something now.
I've got headphones in.
Okay, try saying.
I've got headphones in.
I don't think they're gonna work. Oh. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yes.
And I can hear you fine now.
I'm surprised because they don't have a microphone.
Yeah, I can
Oh,
hear you
well.
fine. I bet
Yeah,
your
I don't know.
tablet. I bet your tablet has a built-in microphone. You might not know it.
It did say something about allowing the microphone access.
Yeah.
Oh,
See,
well. It's a learning experience.
exactly. That's why when I got up to get these, I tripped over the extension cord, which cut my computer off like an idiot. And
Yeah,
so,
I didn't think it would work because they, like I said, I have a pair of headphones with the microphone, but the battery's dead. And I didn't think these would work because they don't have the microphone.
I've got a tablet.
I guess live and learn.
I have a tablet over there. I have a tablet over there, and it's got a built-in microphone. So I bet yours does too.
Well, live and learn, I guess.
The Kane Hodder thing you showed on the old one. Show us again on the new one.
Okay. Oh, where'd I put it? So I'm trying to figure out where to hold it so you can see it. Think like that. Can you see it?
Half of it.
Ugh. That I don't like. I can't figure out the camera.
That side. There you go.
Like there?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Yeah, he wrote it in dark ink, so it's kind of hard to see.
Remember, it's on your left side that the camera can see.
Yeah, I gotta try to remember that.
So what did you see him face to face when you did that, or was that the one that guy got for you?
No. You might remember I talked about Splatter Talk Cinema, and I would always go and leave a comment on their videos and whatnot. Well, anyways, he went to a horror convention, and he met Kane Hodder, and he had it signed for me. I even got, if I can find it here. I don't get this out very often. Of a certificate of authenticity.
Oh, that's cool. Left side. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, so it's the real deal.
That's cool. That's jealousy inducing, yes.
And then I have the DVD box set, the one I'm showing you now. And then my fancy one that I paid $110 for.
Yeah, I've got that one. I've got that one.
I have got this one, the $110 set, and then I have a DVD set in my room of the first 4 movies just because I didn't want to open this up. But I watched, a lot of times I watch them in my room to help me fall asleep at night.
I have the first 4 on Blu-ray. I have the DVD box set of the first 4 and the second and 5 through 8. But I have found that you can get the 8 movie set on Blow It Outta Here and on Hamilton Books for about $26. So I'm planning on getting that so that I can have 5 and 6 on Blu-ray, because those are the only 2 that I need on Blu-ray that I don't have.
Yeah. If you want to give me a second, I know where the other stuff is. I can get it and show you real quick.
Okay.
Okay.
We ain't
Be
got
back in a
nothing else to
minute.
do. Uh,
Now that I know what the hell I'm doing, well, sort
Right.
of.
Yeah. It's easy, isn't it?
Yeah, all this shit. I'm almost back. Took me a little bit longer than I thought it would. My
Uh-oh.
Ari Lehman hockey mask. Oops. I forgot to look
That's
left. So I have that.
that's fucking cool.
I don't know if you can see it, but Ari's signature.
That is cool.
Kill for Mother. Oops. And wait, trying to hold it. Well, anyways, I can't figure out how to hold it right now, but it says Jason 1 on the other side. So, anyways, I have all that, and now I gotta get my eyeballs back on so I can see what the hell I'm doing.
I didn't know you had a tattoo.
A what?
A tattoo?
Oh, my tattoo?
Yeah.
I have several.
I didn't know you had any.
Yeah, I got some. My machete. Ugh.
That is very cool. Go to the left. There you go. There you go. Perfect. Wow.
And it's, I don't know how to
It,
explain. It's like a dull sharp. It won't cut you, but if you
yeah.
drop it on your toe, you'll feel it.
Right.
So it's what I call a sharp dull or a dull sharp or whatever you want to say.
It's still, but it hasn't been sharpened.
That's my bedroom set because I don't want to break out the other DVD set that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
open.
That's
So I
the
have
one that I have.
And I have the Friday the 13th Part 2 Steel book. And my most expensive one.
That is awesome. I've always been jealous of anyone who got that.
Yeah, but I'm really, really pissed about the condition it was in. I'm not sure if you can see it, but whoever packed it, they taped it real heavily, and there's no way to take the tape off without ruining the box set.
Right.
I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it's really thickly wrapped tape. And then if I show you well, no, I don't think you can see it on camera, but there's little dings in the corner of the box too.
And that's really annoying when something is so expensive.
Yeah, because it takes down the value. I mean, I don't think I would ever sell it anyway, but it would, if I did, it would take down the value. Here you can see it a little bit better what I'm talking about, damage wise.
Oh yeah, I see that. That would piss me off royally.
And it's not the manufacturer's fault, but whoever packed it.
Right.
It's their fault. Okay, I gotta pick up my movies. A couple movies just fell out.
The shipper.
Yeah, right.
Who was it that shipped it? Where did you buy it from?
Well, I ordered it from Amazon, so I guess it would be one of their shippers.
Yeah, when they packed it. No, it's not the manufacturer's fault.
No, but it's irritating. Very irritating.
Did you see where I was showing about that screw up that I told you about?
You mean when you tripped over the cord?
No.
Oh, no,
Remember,
you're talking about the movies.
Yeah, see, that is I was telling you about the 4Ks, how you have to be careful.
Mm-hmm.
That is the new 4K set for Event Horizon, a horror space movie. And I didn't research it and discovered that the Blu-ray is not remastered. It's the old 2008 shitty one. So I had to turn around and buy the 2015 remaster from Scream Factory to get a remastered Blu-ray of the movie. So that's what I was saying about you have to do your research when you buy a 4K, like we were talking about the gift. You have to do a research to ensure that you are not getting screwed over by a greedy company.
Right. And I told you, I have no interest in 4K other than if it's a movie I really want and they have the Blu-ray copy.
Right. And that's why the gift, I did research it, and that Blu-ray in the gift is the remastered brand new version. So I'm definitely getting that. And some companies even admit it. Like this is the new 4K Blu-ray of Dog Soldiers that Shout Factory just put out, Scream Factory, and they did it as an apology because the 2015 version that they put out was so bad that the people looked plastic. They digital noise reduced it so bad. So they put this out a few months ago to say, I'm sorry. And they completely redid the 4K, and they redid the Blu-ray in a new version that people love. So some companies are good, like boutiques, like Scream Factory, and some of them are just greedy shit, like Paramount. There's no reason for them to have stuck an old 2008 Blu-ray into this set for people to buy, making them have to turn around and spend more money on this. But as long as you research, it doesn't happen very often. I've only had a couple of oops like that 2 or 3 times. And it always reminds me to watch what the hell I'm doing.
I'm gonna turn this tablet on its side and see if the camera angle. Oh nope, that didn't work too well. I thought maybe it might be a better camera angle, but that's not really working at all. Oh well, I'm learning.
Are you as surprised as I am about how seemingly easy this was? I mean, I didn't
Yes
know it was
and
going to be
no.
this
I mean,
easy.
I kind of figured it couldn't be that hard because so many of the YouTube channels do it. And I know when I was on Night Watch Zone for the watch along of Friday the 13th, Part 4, I got on my phone relatively easy once he told me what to do, but I've never tried it on my tablet before.
Yeah, I didn't think it was like super gigantically hard, but I thought it would be a little bit more hard, and I
Mm-hmm.
would have to spend some time like setting things up and all. But instead, I just came here. It asked me for a name. I created an account. Um, it took me right in, hooked up to my mic, hooked up to the camera, and within 5 minutes, I was doing that test last night, and I was really shocked that it was that easy. And I'm also shocked that it let me give you the link and you logged in so easily, and it's not giving us any problems other than us not knowing that
Learning
if you le-
experience.
if you leave the speakers on, it's going to echo you to death, and
Well,
we
I
have
could
to have
see your
headphones in
lips moving, but I couldn't hear you at all. I don't know why that. I could
because
hear
you had
background noises,
that.
and I could see your lips moving, but I couldn't hear the words coming out your mouth.
You know what it was? It was an infinite echo from when you had spoken before. It just
I
got more and
guess.
more garbled. But now that we both have headphones in, it works perfectly fine.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's a learning experience and a very cool one. But I've highly that's what's kept me from doing it, from messing around with live stuff, is because I thought it would be a little boringly complicated, or I'd have a bunch of issues and I don't feel like dealing with it. And
Yeah,
instead,
and if you wanted to, like, if I wasn't around, or you just wanted to have a voice stream, you could tell MCK and I forgot the other guy's name, Brant, and they could join you, I suppose, as long as your computer could handle it.
if they neither one of them really have anything to do with social media or anything, I brought them to YouTube.
Yeah.
They are gamers and
Mm-hmm.
they spend all of their time in Steam playing games, except I got them to join BitChute and I got them to join YouTube, um, just for me.
Yeah, but I'm just saying if they wanted to, or you could talk them
Yeah,
into it.
yeah, they could. I don't mind doing solo. I mean, I spent 2 hours on a live talking about that Elizabeth Taylor movie. I spent
Mm-hmm.
I watched the 2008 remake of Dawn of the uh, Day of the Dead. I spent like two. I watched that whole movie by myself in the middle of the night on live YouTube. First time I ever saw it, and so I don't mind being alone on the live. If
Yeah.
people want to come in and speak and talk about horror movies or whatever, that's cool. You
And if
know,
somebody wants to invite you on your channel and it's a time that you're up and doing things, now you know how to do it.
yeah, it's kind of cool, and I'm not afraid of it anymore. You know how that feels because you do the same thing. Oh, I'll try it sometime, but I don't know. I don't feel like dealing with it. I don't know if it's going to work
I
right.
don't. I
That's
mean,
me too.
I try not to show it, but I don't have a lot of self confidence. I really don't
Exactly.
like looking at myself on camera. If you notice, I'm like constantly moving around. I
But
just,
I've told you before, look at some of these people.
yeah,
Some
I
of
just
them are
don't like
scary.
it.
Some of them are scary as fuck. I'm not going to name names.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, but I sent you. Oh, this is. I think it might have been last year. but I sent you a link to a lady that I found out she had a YouTube channel, and she went on there no teeth at all, totally toothless. It's like, hey, if she wants to do that and she feels that confident, more power to her. But me personally, not
No.
happening.
I got to comb my hair and look and put on a shirt and look halfway decent. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But some of them, I agree with you. Some of them really don't look like they care at all. I mean, I've seen some of them on there, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say, because people will like try to cancel you or accuse you of shaming them or being superficial or
And
shallow.
that's why I was being careful not to say this lady's name, because I didn't want to get any kind of feedback or negativity towards me, because I was talking about her, but I just don't think I could bring myself to do it.
Well, no, because I want to come on here to have watch-alongs or horror discussions or discuss movies or whatever. I don't want to come on here to be comedic and make a fool of myself and be called names and like would happen. I think if you went on there looking like that, people would like laugh at you and call you names, and that's not what I would want.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you look
Can't really
totally
explain
fine.
it.
You look totally
Yeah,
fine.
me and all my double chins.
I can't.
I think I see
really
like my third or fourth double chin there.
No, I don't think so.
But yeah, I have your own personal. I'm trying to think of the word I'm looking for. Your personal flaws are easier to see in yourself than other people see it in you.
Because I am just as self-conscious as you. I mean, I think I look like a big, fat old blimp sitting here, and I know that's not true. But
actually, I think I'm going to turn off this overhead light. I don't normally have it on at night. I just did that so I could fool around and figure out how to join. There, that's better.
That's better.
I like it in the dark.
Me too, yeah. I mean, I leave this on because I'm not setting up my lighting to do this, and I think I look fine. I mean, I'm not ashamed of my hair color.
No. You have beautiful hair color.
I love my hair color, so I did notice I saw
your
Wolfie.
Carol Brady hair.
Yeah, I saw Wolfman. I saw a couple of his posts on Facebook, and I was like, his hair is almost the exact same color as mine. You know what I mean?
Wolfman, I'm trying to think who that is.
With the red beard, red hair, wolf guy, Wolfman, wolf guy.
Not ringing a bell.
But I noticed I was like, I know he had red hair, but I didn't know it was like as close to my color as it is.
The only redhead I can think of that does YouTube besides you is Ginger Ninja.
I saw him.
That's the only other redhead I can think of.
You don't remember Wolfie?
Mm-mm. I probably don't know if I've seen him, but it's just not ringing a bell.
Yeah, he's got the same hair color as me. But yeah, it's been fun. Me finding out that this was as easy to do as it was. And as you see, you look perfectly fine, and it was easy to log in.
I don't know about all that, but okay.
But yeah, I just recorded my update for August September, and it freaked me out because I only had one boutique, and that's unusual. But I made up for it in October because I got a whole bunch of shit. Double Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Tommy.
I don't know why that made me think of it, but I've always meant to ask you. Have you ever watched The Game with Michael Douglas And if
I
yes,
love.
have you reviewed it?
I haven't reviewed it, but you're the one that reminded me, and I went and bought the Blu-ray.
That is a great movie. Great
Um, I
movie.
I love
But
the
I don't
game
like the ending. I don't like
when
the
it
ending of
turns
it though.
when it
Everything
turns
else is
out to be a
fine.
joke.
Yeah. Everything else is fine. I love the movie right up till the end. And it's like,
My
oh, you
favorite.
ruined it.
I loved Carol Baker in it. Carol Baker was his housekeeper. She's one of my
Oh.
favorite stars. She's one of my favorite stars from the '60s. Is Carol
Mm,
Baker. So it's cool to see her in that. Because Harlow, her movie about Jean Harlow, is one of my
yeah.
favorite movies from the '60s. Is by her. But yeah, you had talked about the game, and I knew that I had the DVD, and it reminded me to go grab some of Michael Douglas's movies. So I upgraded the game, and the one where he has the really bad day,
Oh, falling down.
falling down, and I got the Paramount Plus. This is their boutique line. I got the
Mm-hmm.
Paramount Plus of Fatal Attraction. So
And Coma, didn't you buy Coma? Because I know you mentioned it
I
to
did
me,
buy
and
Coma.
I ended up buying Coma because
Yeah,
I
I
got the
did buy
Blu-ray of
Coma.
Coma. Yeah, I've got the Blu-ray of that
But
because you had
Param
done a review on it, and it made me think of it,
yeah,
and
I
so I ended
love
up
Coma.
buying it.
Coma was one of those movies that I remember from being a little kid. And so it has that nostalgia thing attached to it. So when I saw it, I grabbed it because I've always loved Coma.
Yeah. Well, you should definitely do a Michael Douglas a review or two or three reviews of your favorite movies that he did, if you haven't
Have you
already.
have you
I mean,
seen
I know you
his
did Coma.
War of the Roses? Have you seen War of the Roses? Him and
I've
Kathleen
heard of it, but
Turner.
I've never watched it.
That is a blast. And him and Kathleen Turner, but that's you can get a bootleg of it, but the only thing that you can get of that is very expensive. I wish some boutique would redo War of the Roses.
Hmm.
But yeah, I like Michael Douglas.
Yeah,
Basic
maybe you could
Instinct.
do like a celebrity spotlight on your next batch or whatever. Well, you probably have stuff already planned out.
I never have stuff planned out.
Well,
I've
I
got like
mean, you
eight.
have to because you do your collection updates. And we talked
I
about
do the
that burn
collection.
video.
Um,
I don't know if you're going to do it, but we talked about that burn video.
I'd have to pay $5 to get it, but they do have they do have Jeepers Creepers Reborn for $5 on Hamilton Books, and I thought about doing it. I don't think I would pay more than $5 to do a burn video, but
Well, I'd send you my copy of Nope, but I like it too much and it's part of a set.
of what milk?
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Oh,
I'd send that to you, but I like it too much. That's one movie we don't agree on.
I do have a movie here. I could do a burn video. It's this thing.
Hell's Bells. Oh, that's when you were talking about the other night on your review.
Oh my god! I tell you, I kept it to do my update, but I filmed my update a while ago, so I even talk about it in that. I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. All I know is it's not staying in my house. I could throw it away. I could throw it away and keep the case. Um, but that seems rude, even though the garbage is where it belongs. But I do mention that I could take it outside and set it on fire and burn it in a rap video, because I say in my update, I say I didn't think anything would crack my top 10 worst movies of all time until I saw this. This is one of those that Horror with Hoss sent me. You know,
Yeah.
he sent me that little pack of movies. And
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
this was hard to get through. I've never seen anything so bad. I mean, and it's not cool bad. It's not funny. They try to be funny, but it's not funny. They're all
Kind of
very,
like the
very
Amityville public domain movies.
yeah. It's not funny at all, which is I think what they're trying to be. But it's not
Actually,
funny.
I seen one earlier tonight that wasn't too bad. It's Amityville Uprising, where I don't know, I don't understand the explanation, but Amityville got acid rain coming down on the town, and anyway that got rain on them, they would turn into zombies, and then they would start biting each other and stuff. It was a lot better than I expected. The actors were terrible, but the story itself wasn't that bad. Just the actors were awful.
Exactly. I'm trying to
But yeah,
find
I
that
finally
one.
found one that wasn't halfway decent for a change.
I'm trying to find that one he sent.
Yeah, I watched that because he told me about it. You asked me if I had seen it before, and I found it. I think it was on Tubi, but I watched it.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that because I looked it up and it was on Tubi.
I mean, it wasn't, and I say it in the update. You know, I mean, it's not that it was great
I just
or
thought it was
fan.
horribly boring.
It was slow, um, but it wasn't like I didn't hate it and despise it like I thought I would. One of these
Yeah, to me it was just boring. And
it
to
like
me that's the worst
what
sin a movie can make is being painfully boring.
for
Well,
a
at
horror
least in
movie.
my opinion, any movie. Like I can't
Well, yeah,
sit through a 3 hour movie and just be bored.
that is true. It could be no matter what genre. If it's boring, then you're not enjoying yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I did
But I
get
mean,
bored. I
story
did
wise,
get
it was
bored.
fine. I just thought it was boring, just
That's
kind
what I
of
was fixing
flat.
to say. That's what I was fixing to say. In some places in that movie, I was bored,
Mm-hmm.
but
It
there were
just was
some
kind of
places.
flat.
But some places it was okay, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And when it was over, I was like, that's a 5 out of 10, 4.5, 5 out of 10. But it's staying in my collection, is what I'm saying, is that it wasn't so bad that I had to
It
throw it away.
wasn't bad enough you wanted to burn it.
Right. I mean, it was all right. I mean, it had a good story, but I guess you have to remember those Amityville movies are filmed for what, $30,000?
I don't even
I,
think that because my understanding is they're basically public domain now.
I mean, every once in a
I think
while,
somebody just takes a video camera or a iPhone or something and just records them.
you can with the newer ones.
There was one, and it wasn't a bad movie. I can't think of it right now, but they shot the whole video on iPhone, the whole movie. She signed these papers and she didn't realize what she was signing, and she got committed into this insane asylum. And the guy that tried to rape her was working there, and nobody believed her. They thought she was crazy. Insane.
I've got that Blu-ray.
Yeah,
I've
but the
got
whole
that
thing
Blu-ray.
was shot on the iPhone.
They specifically made the iPhone 10, 11, and 12. I think the newest one is 12. I think they specifically made them to be movie quality. You can film a movie on the iPhone 10, 11, or 12.
Hmm.
So I'm not surprised, but every once in a while, a studio or people will get a hold of Amityville and make one that is higher budget and decent, like that remake of Amityville 2, The Possession, it's called The Amityville Murders. That one has
Yeah.
named stars in it and is actually really, really good. But most
Yeah,
of
I'm
them
gonna
are
have to
filmed.
try to write that down one of these days.
The Amityville
And that,
Murders is really good.
yeah, I'm gonna have to try and remember to write that down and look for it. But I'm trying to look on. I seen another Amityville movie that was surprisingly good. I can find it on my list here. Oh, Amityville: The Awakening. That's a
Yeah,
pretty good movie too.
doesn't that have a named star in it?
Oh, just a second.
Like
I
Jennifer Jason Lee or something like that. I know there's one I want to get because it's actually high
uh
quality.
yeah, Jennifer Jason Lee.
Yeah, I actually want that because that's one I was telling you about. It's like a
This one.
decent, yeah, that's the one I want.
That's
I
pretty
do
good.
I do plan on getting that because it's a studio that actually put money into it and a named star. Because I
Yeah,
love Jennifer Jason Leigh.
that's a pretty decent one.
I'm very proud of this.
I can see if
Freeway.
I can't make out the name. Oh,
Freeway.
Freeway.
I've
Is
wanted
that the
this
one
forever.
with
Reese Witherspoon and
yep,
Kiefer Sutherland.
and Keith Sutherland.
This is only
That's
like the third or fourth Vinegar Syndrome that I got, but I really wanted this. It's
but I like
4K.
free. Go ahead.
It's 4K and Blu-ray, but they are remastered, um, extended director's cuts, uncut.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was worth the $25.
Yeah. I was just gonna say I don't know if you've ever seen it, but I like Freeway 2 Confessions of a Trick Baby.
I see that
That's
all
a
the
good
time.
one.
They
I like
redid
that
that
one
one too.
better.
They
I like that
remastered
one
that one
better.
too. I've
Hmm.
never seen it, but I see it
Yeah,
with
I
this
like
all the
it.
time.
It's more fun. To me it's more fun. But you
Because
know
I
me, I
know,
like my cheese.
because I know this is like as dark as The Hitcher, like the
Yeah.
original
And
Hitcher.
the Freeway 2 is more comedy.
Right. I need to
And
see it.
you know me,
'Cause-
I like my silly, stupid horror movies.
Well, because I see it all the time for sale, along with this one, I keep meaning to see it so that I'll know whether it's worth buying. I
Yeah.
do know they remastered it in 4K, just like they did this one.
Hmm.
But because I don't know what it's about, I would have to actually watch it to know whether I would spend $20 on it.
It's it's hard to explain exactly. So these two girls are locked up together. They decide to escape, and they go down to Mexico. And the one girl that escaped, she has an eating disorder, and this lady keeps feeding her and getting her to eat and stuff. And then at the end of the movie, it's revealed that the lady was feeding her these dead children that she had killed.
Oh, that's not cool.
And then she ends up, once she finds out what the lady was feeding her, she gets revenge on them. It's different.
That sounds that sounds
I
like
mean,
I might be
you
interested.
don't actually see the children or anything, but
It
it's
sound
clearly implied that she's feeding them dead kids that she had killed.
it sounds like that movie that uh Rainbow, that Rainbow girl, whatever her name is.
Rainbow Fright?
Yeah. Rainbow Fright and Grande were talking and they were mentioning a movie called Dumpling, and
Uh,
that's what it's about. Some woman that eats fetuses, makes a concoction with fetuses, And I'm like, I'm not
Well,
really interested.
I I don't know. I'd have to look because I don't remember stuff that well. But it seems to me like both movies were originally based off Little Red Riding Hood, but like adult versions of Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, that's what Freeway was
But
supposed to be.
I can't ever remember Little Red Riding Hood where they ate little children.
Correct. Now, I did put Company of Wolves. I saw that they have remastered it. I've got it on my wish list to buy next month. That's also Little Red Riding Hood.
Mm.
It's the one with Angela Lansbury in it. So that will be cool to have from the 80s. This is what I watched last night. This is Cher's first movie.
Oh, okay. Um,
Come Back to the
the
Five and
lady
Down.
worked. Oh, I thought the first movie she did was with Meryl Streep, where she was
No,
a.
that was the
I can't
second.
think of the name of that movie. But anyways, I
Silkwood.
thought the one she did with Meryl Streep was the first one she made. I didn't realize
That
she made one before that.
this this was her first one, and then she did Silkwood because
Okay,
she
because
did
I
so good
thought
in this.
Silkwood was the first one she did.
This is about, there's Karen Black from that horror trilogy with the voodoo doll. Karen
Yeah.
Black, Sandy Dennis, Karen Black, and Cher, and
Hmm.
it's about a James Dean fan club in the 50s, and this Sandy Dennis is crazy. I mean, she's
Hmm.
mental, and she's in love with James Dean, and they her and there's a boy that hangs around with them all the time, named Joe, and they end up going. Her and Joe end up going over to the next town when they filmed the movie Giant with James Dean, which is one of the only three movies he ever made before he was killed.
Yeah.
And she came back and claimed to have had the son of James Dean. So 20
Hmm.
years later, 20 years later, they're having a reunion for that James Dean fan club, and four of them end up managing to come back, including a strange woman played by Karen Black that they don't know who is this woman, and it turns
Hmm.
out that's Joe after a sex change, and everybody's secrets get revealed. So it's one of those movies where you've lived for 20 years with all of these dark secrets. Juanita's husband was a drunk. Joe was raped in the graveyard, and it fucked him up so bad he thought he was supposed to be a girl and went and got a sex change, and now he regrets it. Um, Cher has lived her life dependent on her looks and her big breasts, only to have it revealed during this reunion that she had a double mastectomy and that her husband abandoned her over it. So everybody's dark secrets are revealed, and that's the kind of movie it is. And
Hmm.
she is so good in it that Hollywood was welcomed Cher as an actor and was like, "Come on in," And that's when she got that movie with Meryl Streep, Silkwood.
Okay. Yeah, for some reason I thought Silkwood was her first movie. Um,
This is
I'll be
very
right
hard to
back. I
get.
got. Okay. I'll
This
be
is
right
very
back.
hard
I
to
gotta go
get.
do something real quick and then I'll be back.
All right. Did you see that when I showed it off?
Okay.
Did you
What are
see
you
that?
holding up for me now? I can't make out the
This
names.
this is the Arrow box set collector's edition of American Gigolo.
Oh.
Look at this
I don't
thing.
think I've ever seen that movie.
Beautiful slipcase. Beautiful box. You have a beautiful new remaster of the movie. A beautiful booklet, just huge booklet.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that.
And it even comes with the actual theater poster.
Nice.
You could do the other side, but that's kind of
Isn't that the one he's naked in that movie? Isn't there a scene where he's naked in it?
I think so. He's mostly known for being naked and looking for Mr. Goodbar.
Mm.
He may be naked in this too. I can't remember.
I've never seen that one. I've heard of
I
it, of
know,
course, but never watched it.
but that is a very nice box set. And it was
Yeah.
also, I remember how I told you that even collectors can make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
In my September update, I just bought the 2012 American Gigolo release because I didn't know this existed. Because I didn't do my research.
You could do a giveaway.
Oh no, I'm keeping it.
I'm just saying you could.
I'm keeping it because of the cover.
Yeah, I don't have all my movies handy like that. I have the
They're all,
I have the Friday stuff in a separate space, but most of my movie collection is in a movie rack.
these are only right here because I just did my update. They will now be spread out through my house. You know what I mean? They'll now go
Yeah.
into the collection.
If I can walk over, I don't know if you can see it or not. Probably had to turn on the light. Oh no, I don't know how to reverse the camera. I guess I could turn it like this. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, that's where most of my movies are, except for the Friday. I have those in a different spot, but most of my movies are right there. So I can't just go and reach over and grab one to show you.
My October movies that have come in this month, and there's only one left to come. They're all sitting right here on the floor. They will then move to the chair until I do an update video. So now these September ones that I did the update video a while ago, they can now be spread out and go into their appropriate places into my collection. So that's why those are readily grabbable, is because they're still sitting in the chair from when I did my update video a while ago. But this is the one that I bought in September.
American Psycho?
Gigolo.
Oh, okay. I thought you were showing me a different one.
So this
I didn't realize you were showing me the other American Gigolo.
Yeah, this is the one that I bought last month because I didn't know that existed. So I had to turn around and buy this, and I didn't really have to. I can see
when you're holding up the boxes, but I can't really make out the names.
So me not doing my research caused me to buy this last month.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to turn around and buy this. because this is the new version. So you have to take the time. Sometimes I get too fast and I just go through my wish list and I buy shit when I should actually open it up and make sure it's the newest version or whether another version is available that I would rather have. So I have
Yeah.
to slow down when I go and buy stuff is what I need to do. And this kind of stuff teaches me a lesson. But because that cover is so sexy, I'm keeping it.
Yeah.
Now I did watch Pretty Woman the other night. I was
Did you
literally
watch,
sitting.
have you ever seen Requiem for a Dream?
I have seen that. It rips you to
That's such a
shreds.
good movie. I love it.
I have started to grab it a couple of times and then it gets lost in the shuffle, but I do want to get that.
That's
Um,
such a
I,
good movie.
I could
That'd be a
try
good
to
one for you to talk about on one of your reviews.
I could try to show you what's available in my room, in the living room.
Hmm. Oh, yeah. That's a lot. Oh my gosh. That's not even all of them, is it? That's just some. Or do you have them all in the living room?
No.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So that's just what's surrounding me. The baby's playroom. The baby's playroom in there is also full of stacks like that. And the middle bedroom has got probably about 100 in it. So I'm starting to have to move. I'm starting to have to put stuff in the middle bedroom because the baby's playroom is getting full. So that's what's surrounding me. But these movies will now be sorted and go where they need to go.
You
You
could
know,
sit them on that counter thing behind you,
that's the
where you have
bar.
that blue hanging blanket and a lava light. You could
That's the
maybe stack
bar.
some on, huh?
That's the bar between the
Yeah, you could
living room
maybe
and the
sit
kitchen.
some of them on there. You could like stack them
They'd fall in the
on your
sink,
bar.
but then they'd fall in the sink.
Not if you're careful.
I mean, at least when I upgrade, I do make room, you know. Where did that one went? I just had it in my hand. But anyway,
I mean, you
oh,
have your lava light sitting on the bar and it hasn't fallen into the sink, obviously.
yeah, but that's because it's right here on the edge. But
That's what I was saying is you could like start a little stack on the edge and just light them up.
well, not every movie I buy is going to make me use more space. Like when I bought this American Gigolo, I already had the DVD. And so I took the DVD out of my collection, put the DVD in a plastic liner and put it in here. So it doesn't take me buying this doesn't take more room in my house because the DVD is now gone. The DVD is now in here.
Hmm.
So upgrading reduces you know, you're basically just replacing space that you've already used. And you can fit more Blu-rays than DVDs. Blu-rays are
Yeah.
smaller. So
And
I manage
if you stack them standing up and not laying on their back, like here, I'll try to show you for an example.
I would need more shelves.
But like if you do it this way where it's standing up instead of laying down, for me anyway, it saves a lot of room doing it that way too.
Problem is you have to have ends. In other words, you need a bookcase, a bookshelf, or you need something to put the ends up to otherwise they'll fall over.
Mm.
So most of mine are unfortunately stacked like that because I
Mm-hmm.
don't have shelves to put them on. Because something has to hold them together or they will fall over. But I've thought about getting someone to make me some shelves, like
Yeah.
just little square shelves, and I could just, because I would rather have them, like you said, standing up, not like that.
And it's
And I have,
easier to see what, like, when you're going to a specific movie, it's easier to see it that way than laying on its back.
it also safer for them. Number one, not a whole lot safer, but a little safer. But also, you have to limit how high you stack. If you're stacking them on your side, if you stack it too high, it's going to put so much pressure on the bottom ones that it could tear up the discs
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot of weight bearing down on those bottom ones, which is why sometimes I will go around my collection and I will remove the bottom 10 and put them on top so that they're not constantly being pressed down on. So, what time is it out there? 11:45.
12:45.
You're in Central too.
Yeah.
We have
So
another
I take
storm.
it the hurricane didn't bother you too much, then I assume.
It it was 100 miles that way. We didn't. We've had more wind and rain from a thunderstorm. We didn't. It didn't touch us at all.
Yeah,
And the one and
my
the one that's
cousin that lives near Tampa, they said all
she
they
ne-
did is they lost their power for a day.
she needs to leave right now. She may
Mm.
have not have been touched by that one, but she needs to leave right now because that one coming across the Gulf that's fixing to hit Tampa is going to hurt her if she stays there. You didn't know there was another one coming?
No, but I mean, they're an older couple. They're smart enough that if they feel like they need to leave, they're gonna, do
Yeah,
what they
because
have to do.
Milton, his name is Milton. He formed yesterday in the Gulf. He's going to be a category 4 or category 5, and he's going to hit around the Tampa Bay area at least a category 3.
Yeah.
So they're,
Well, I'm
they're
sure they're wise enough to get out of there if they feel like they're in danger. But the other one, uh, I can't think of the hurricane's name.
Helene.
Helene, yeah. All she did was knock out their power.
It wasn't really meant for Florida, I think. It punished a couple of counties because you know how I know you're religious, but a lot of right wingers they like to use religion and they say this is God's wrath and that's God's wrath and they use the Bible to hurt people. I
Yeah.
usually will I will usually throw this kind of stuff back in their face because I'm like, well, you know, Helene just destroyed North and South Carolina and Georgia and God wasn't finished. So now
I
he's sending Milton to teach you Trumpers a lesson.
yeah. I mean, I know I try to avoid political stuff, and I won't mention his name, but Mr. Orange Guy. It's like you're all for pro life and stuff, saving the baby at all costs, but then you're willing to let the mother die. It's like, no.
Exactly. It's
How
all
can you
fake.
say you're pro life and you're absolutely adamant you got to save the baby, but yet at the same point, if the mother dies, oh well.
That's why I
I mean,
said
I don't get the logic.
I use it to kind of throw it back in their face because that's what they like to do. And so sometimes I'll be a smartass about it. And I'm like, well, Florida, looks like God's trying to tell you something and y'all just aren't listening. And it's
Yeah.
about them being right wingers. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
Hmm.
here comes God
And it's like,
obviously isn't
what?
happy with
Who's gonna pay for all these babies if the women decide to give them up or they have severe medical issues their whole entire life? Who's going to pay for that? You think Mr. Orange Guy is going to dig into his pocket and pay for it? I doubt it.
Well,
I mean,
because
I just don't get it.
because America is so much about money, everything is about money. That's the reason why it's such a shame that so many children are in foster care and the children and families system, and they never get out. It's because rich people, they go overseas to Bosnia and Syria and Russia to adopt children because America is so hard, and they keep these children in the foster care system because it makes money. The foster parents make money, the system makes money. They make it so difficult for single men, single women, female couples, male couples, and even straight couples to adopt children because they want to keep the children in the system. So
Yeah.
much that so much that rich people will go overseas to adopt poor children from Slovenia or Bosnia because they can't pass the adoption stuff here. And that's sick. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I don't know what they are doing. It's very, very strange. When
It just doesn't make sense to me.
Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie have to go to overseas to adopt children, two of the richest people in this country, the system is messed up. it,
Yeah.
and it certainly doesn't have anything to do with about whether they can provide for the kid, does it? You know,
Mm.
so it's all a sad situation. But
Yeah, it
let
is.
all we can do is vote, and I am definitely going to vote. I'm going
Yep,
to be voting.
I already requested my mail-in ballot, just waiting for it to get here.
My sample ballot came, so I must still be registered because my sample ballot came.
Mm.
So the ballot should come anytime now, and I am definitely voting for Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this has been very interesting, don't you think? I mean, it's cool. You lasted
Definitely.
an you lasted an hour and 15 minutes already on a live stream. So you can do it. Granted, we
Yeah,
didn't
I
have
still
any.
don't like it. I don't love it, but oh
Granted,
well.
we didn't really have like a focus, but this was all a test anyway. And even me getting a person on the stream has worked perfectly fine. I've had no problem at all, other than us needing to figure out the headphones.
And me looking awkwardly into the camera all the time.
You haven't looked
Oh
awkward to
well.
me. I've tried not to pay
Hmm.
attention to myself. I've tried not to pay attention to myself. I just
See,
watch you.
and when I record those little videos that I put on Instagram, I have to record like a ridiculous amount of times because I end up staring at myself and I'm like, oh God, you look so weird. Re-record the whole thing. I can never get it like one shot. I have to do it several times before it's
I,
to my satisfaction.
I think that's why this is actually easier because you can just watch the other person. Like I just keep watching you so I don't notice me and like have to fix my hair. But I think it's cool. You know, I've seen people come and go in here. They were obviously just, I didn't see
I
any of the
mean, what the
names.
hell are these two doing?
Exactly. I didn't see anybody we know come in, or at least they haven't said anything. But it's made me feel better about doing this stuff, that I know all I got to do is I just got to turn on the page and click live stream, name it, describe it, and I'm live on YouTube. I just
Yeah.
didn't know it was going to be that easy. So I will definitely look for some movies to like watch because I can hook my Blu-ray player to my computer and then sit here and watch it live on there. I think it would be cool.
Yeah, and I assume if it was a movie I had access to, watch it at the same time.
I'm sure you've got movies that I have that we both like. If nothing else, there's 6 Friday the 13th that I absolutely adore. I love 1 through 6, and that's the end of the series to me. I just really don't like 7.
Yeah,
8,
I have a blasty blast with part 5 with the fake Jason. That is such a fun movie. I love it.
I love 5. Yeah, and
Yeah,
he's my favorite. He's my favorite Billy.
and the scary part is my mother had the same exact personality as Ethel, Crazy Ethel, and Junior.
I don't think I can deal with that.
My mother had her personality through and through. They didn't look nothing alike, but they had the same exact personality.
That would
And
drive me crazy.
the little boy Reggie the Reckless, my cousin had a best friend, and he looked exactly like Reggie the Reckless. And I think that's part of the reason it's so special to me because it reminds me of people I knew.
Well, I'm so crushed out on Billy. That's my main thing in number 5.
Yeah.
But I love that movie, and I really don't understand why franchises fall apart like that. You know, to make 6 really good, even though 6 is like, oh, ridiculous. Now we move into zombie Jason. But even 6 is great. I just don't understand how it falls apart after you make 6 really good movies.
I think and not just Friday, but any franchise. I think you can only hit so many, and then it just like they run out of ideas or something.
And it seems to happen like really fast because the difference between 6 and 7 is really bad to me. And
Mm-hmm.
the difference between Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and Nightmare on Elm Street 5 is like really bad. Like the Grand Canyon, it goes from 4 being good
I love that
to like
movie.
to like Nightmare 5 just like I hated it. You know what I'm saying?
Nightmare 5 is Freddy's Dead, right? I forget how many movies they have in that series.
I
If
have
5
the
is
first
Freddy's Dead, right?
I, I think so. I don't know.
That's my favorite.
Is 5 Freddy's Dead or is it 6?
I don't know how many movies they made for sure. I'm thinking 5 is Freddy's Dead. I don't like that one that Rennie Harlan made. I don't like that at all.
I
I
hate
thought
the
that one was stupid.
I hate the
Did
remake.
not care for Rennie Harlan. No, Rennie Harlan didn't do the remake, I don't think. Let me look on my letterbox. I might have it. Should have it.
No, 5 is the Dream Child.
Okay, then Freddy's Dead must be 6 then.
Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare is 6.
Yeah.
At least they knew when to stop because they didn't make any more. Well, they made New Nightmare and then Freddy versus Jason and then the remake. But I only like the first 4. But a lot of franchises are that way. Saw, I only like the
Yeah,
first 2
Nightmare on
Saw.
Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. That's the one Rennie Harlan did, and I don't like that at all. I hated that one.
It's not my favorite.
No, I
The
didn't like
first
that at all.
The first three are really okay. The fourth one is watchable, and the rest are shit to
Well,
me.
I'm sorry, but I like
To
Nightmare.
me,
Yeah, but I'm sorry, I like Nightmare Freddy's Dead. I like the
and
original
Saw,
and Freddy's Dead, and the rest, screw it. Toss it.
Saw, Saw is the same way. I only like the first two, and then I didn't really care for any of the others until Spiral. Jigsaw
Well,
was,
I take that back. I did like Dream Warriors. I'll take that back. I did like Dream Warriors, but yeah.
but franchises, I don't, I don't know of any that's remained perfect that didn't stop. Aliens remained perfect.
Yeah, I never got into Aliens.
Predator, just the first two. Then they made that shitty remake, and then Prey. So yeah, the two
I
Chucky.
think I think all the Terminator ones have stayed pretty good, haven't
Yeah,
they?
the Terminator ones have stayed pretty good, and Chucky stayed pretty good. Not to
Wow.
some people, but to me they did because I like
So,
all of the Chuckies except for Seed and Bride. So okay, wait a second. I'm wrong. I screwed up. I'm wrong. I forgot how much I hate Seed and Bride because I
I
forgot
don't
about
like
them.
part three. Part three in Seed and that one where they had the baby. I can't think. Oh yeah, that was Seed
Yeah,
where
Seed.
they had the baby.
You
Chucky and
don't like
Tiffy
them.
had the baby.
You
That
don't
was
like the
Seed.
You didn't like the military one.
No,
Oh, that's my favorite.
I didn't. Three, Seed and Cold of Chucky.
So you have a lot of them you don't like.
Yeah, only three.
Well, there's only
Three's
six
not out
movies.
of bad out of six.
Yeah, so that's
Well,
half of the
seven,
movies.
no, seven, because seven's a remake. I do like the remake of Chucky.
It's all right. I didn't hate it. I didn't dislike it.
I really liked it.
I mean, it's not connected to the other movies. It's a completely different thing. So I like it
Right.
because it's not connected. But yeah, I forgot that I hate Seed and Bride, so I'm not. That's not a perfect franchise either. Hmm. Hmm. Oh
Yeah,
well.
I'm not really a big franchise person. They just, to me, they all just kind of run out of steam.
A lot of people sort of demand it in the horror community because it's like Gore says, the horror community can be a nasty bunch of people. I
Toxic
mean,
fandom.
yeah, they can be a
Toxic
bunch of,
fandom.
and I don't really go to that because I'm not, I'm not a completionist at all. I do not have Seed of Chucky. I do not have Bride of Chucky, but I have all the rest, even the TV
That's like
series.
one time, this has been a while back, but I went on and I said I didn't like the original. Oh, I think I did a ranking. And I didn't like the original, and I said I don't like the original Evil Dead. And
Right.
boy, they cussed me up one side and down the other. I was stupid, retarded, real nasty, nasty.
I know.
They got
I,
really vicious.
last night when I did that test, that guy or whoever that person was that came on asked me what I thought about it and it part two. And I told him that I love them. And although the fandom would attack me, I actually like them better than the original miniseries. Even though I love the original miniseries, I still
Mm-hmm.
like the two new better. And the same with The Shining. Everybody is about The Shining. You have to love The Shining. And I'm like, The Shining is fine,
No, I
but
don't.
I love Doctor Sleep. The director's cut of Doctor Sleep. I love it a whole lot better than The Shining. But toxic fandom is like you have to like this stuff or you get attacked. And
Right.
that irritates me. It took me 20 years before I finally picked up The Exorcist on Blu-ray because The Exorcist 3 is my favorite movie of The Exorcist. And I know you kind of like the first Omen, but I have no interest at all in the first Omen.
Well, I mean, all I can say is don't knock it till you tried it because I was the exact same way. I thought I was absolutely going to hate it. I had
I
no
was
intentions of watching it, but it came to a service that I'm paying for anyway. So I'm like, well, you know what? I'm paying for it. I'm going to go ahead and watch it. And
oh
by
no,
God, it's a lot better than I thought it would be.
I watched it on BitChute, but I really, really, really just couldn't get into it because the change in canon, I just wish they'd have named it something else. I think I would have considered it an okay, mediocre, okay, watchable um, possession movie or demonic movie if they just hadn't have put the Omen in it and tried to make it part of the Omen franchise. I would have liked it a
Yeah,
lot better because Damien was not born from a wannabe nun.
right.
That's just not right.
I I don't know. And like I said, it's not perfect, not by a long shot. I liked it a lot better than I thought it would, but it's not bad for what it is.
That's why
At
I'm
least
saying it.
I
People,
don't think so anyway.
I don't think I would have disliked it as much if people wouldn't keep trying to put it like Nick did when he did a ranking of the Omen and he's got it in there as part of the Omen franchise. That's the part that
Well,
I
I
don't
mean,
like.
most people consider it part of the franchise, though. I
Correct.
mean, he was
And
right to do it, but I see your point.
and so I'm like, I would have liked it a lot more probably, or I wouldn't have had a big problem with it if it was just given another name or something.
Mm,
After all, you can make Omen clones, you know, that Omen clone that I love so much.
yeah,
It's an Omen clone, but doesn't have the word Omen in the title. But
yeah.
it's not alone. It's not alone. I absolutely hate Omen 4. The one with the little girl. I
Oh,
despise that. That's an abomination of a movie. Hate
yeah.
that.
I can't wrap my head around that movie. I'm sorry, I just can't.
But people need to be forgiving of other people. If you're a horror fan, you should have camaraderie and respect that they're going to be different than you. For instance, does not like Damien Omen 2. It was like the bottom of his ranking. And I'm like, but it's the top of mine. Damien Omen 2 is my favorite Omen movie. But
Yeah,
he's not going to call me names and I'm not going to call him names or question his love of horror because we don't agree. You see what I mean?
and that's why I stumble on Killer Flicks, and maybe if I find something interesting to talk about, I'll post on Friday when it's free for all. But other than that, I just don't really mess with it because it is so toxic.
Yeah, I don't mess with them either. I see them sometimes when I log in and I will click like on a post or something, but do I follow them or do I go to them? No, I don't. Because people are just way out the box. I don't understand. You know, when people are telling me what kind of tennis shoes Michael Myers was wearing in a certain movie and how that's the wrong tennis shoes for that time period, I think you need something better to do with your life. And I think you need to look at more movies. You know what I'm saying? They're a little too
Yeah.
obsessed. They're a little too obsessed about what they like and mean about what they don't like. They don't give nothing else a chance.
No.
There's so many movies out there that you can find. I'm sitting here with almost 2,800 Blu-rays and DVDs, and yet people are naming movies all the time that I've never heard of. So
Yeah.
there's lots of stuff out there that you can give a chance, and I'm just a little iffy about calling someone a horror fan if all they know is Saw, Chucky, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Friday the 13th. And everything
Right.
else. And everything else, they go, well, I watched the kill count.
Were you planning on staying on here very much longer? Or were you gonna?
We can get off, yeah. I mean, I appreciate you help.
It doesn't matter. I don't mind sitting here talking to you, but my battery's getting low, and if I want to stay on longer, I'm gonna have to go get my charger and plug it in.
Well, we've been on here an hour and a half. That was a good test. I've seen absolutely no problem unless I start like using my internet, because I live outside of town.
Mhm.
And the highest internet that we can get is 1.5, which would make most people laugh. So that's the reason why I probably couldn't handle but 3 people on my stream. But like if I start messing with the other computer, like looking stuff up or watching a video or something, I would probably see some lag,
Yeah.
But this has been a great test. I was able to put someone in here and sit for an hour and a half, and I've had no problem. I've experienced no technical issues, and I haven't seen you experience any technical issues. So,
Well, except for the headphone thing.
yeah, but I made that same mistake.
Yeah.
I made that same mistake, and that is that if your speakers make noise, it's going to cause an infinite echo loop that will turn into garbled noise. So now I know not to do this without headphones on. But other than that, it's been perfectly fine. So yeah, I appreciate it, and I'm going to go find something to watch. I don't know what. I've got 2,800 movies, and you will not believe how often I sit here in this chair going, oh, I can't think of anything to watch. And my brother, he's like, well, that's because you have to feel it. And I'm like, of course, when I want to watch a movie, I basically flop down on the floor like you saw in here. I will flop down on the floor, and I will just start going through them until I find something that I haven't seen or something that hits me. Like
And
the other
it
night.
has to be something that grabs me right away and get my full attention and interest, because otherwise I find myself on my phone playing games normally on this tablet I'm playing games, the one I'm talking to you on, or I'm just skipping through channels. It's got to catch me right at the beginning, get my full attention. If not, I'm probably not going to pay any attention to it at all.
I have to be in the mood for it. Like the other night when I was sitting here and I just wanted to see a chick flick. I don't know why. It was just like, I feel like a chick flick. And I thought, what is the most chick flick movie that I've got? And then I thought, fucking Pretty Woman. Don't I have Pretty Woman? And I went and found it, and I watched the whole movie, and it was fun because I was in the mood for a chick flick.
Yeah. I just realized I can move. I don't have to stay in the same spot if I don't want to.
No, you don't. Unlike me, I do have to stay in the same spot.
Well, see, normally I can only get public Wi-Fi from across the street, but I borrowed a hotspot, and when I borrow a hotspot, I can move around and do other things. If not, then I have to stay right in the front room, or I won't pick up the internet. Oh. But yeah, I can move. I can be in my comfy chair.
Exactly. This is where I sit most of the time. Now, I do have a regular TV. I don't know if you saw it when I spun around the room, but I do have a regular TV, a 19-inch old style TV, and
Yeah.
and a DVD player hooked up to it. And there are times when I will go and grab a DVD and I will pile up in the floor over there in front of my old TV and watch a DVD on a little 19-inch TV. And it's so much fun because it's nostalgic. You know what I mean?
Uh
Away
huh.
from the computers and everything. I piled up the other night and watched Billy Elliot on it, and I loved it and cried and everything that I do when I watch Billy Elliot. And um, everybody needs a change of atmosphere. As a psychologist, one of the most interesting things that people who suffer depression and stuff that we would tell them is that, do you have a cheap motel in town? And they're like, well, I don't want to spend 50 bucks. I'm like, no, no, no. Do you have some cheap truck stop motel type deal? And they're like, yeah, there's one for like 25 bucks. I'm like, do you know that if you just left your house and went and sat in that motel room and watched TV on the bed, and then came home the next day, you don't even have to spend the night. Just go there at 6 o'clock at night and leave at bedtime. Spend the whole day there, spend the whole night there. You will feel like you went on a vacation because your mind is surrounded by different sensory input. And that's actually a trick that people use to treat depression and stuff is they go and stay in a motel room. As long as you've got the
Yeah.
money, it's better than having to buy medication. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, you would, and I used to do it myself. You just go. I would I would leave an hour after I woke up and I wouldn't come home until it was bedtime. And I would just stay at that motel room and watch TV, watch the cable channels or whatever. And you feel so refreshed because you're out of the same stuff you see every single day. It's why you redecorate. It's why you're supposed to change the pictures on your walls to a different location.
Why I go
There's a
to craft classes over at the library. It's
right.
not necessarily that I want to do the craft, but it's getting me out, giving me a new experience. It's something out of my ordinary routine.
It's the reason why sitting down on the floor every 2 weeks and watching a DVD on my old TV is very refreshing because it's different and you're in a different area of the house and your surroundings look different at different areas of your house. So if I'm always used to sitting here and seeing my surroundings the way I see them, but then I spend a few hours sitting on the floor in front of the TV, my brain perceives everything differently. And
Mm-hmm.
it gives your brain a break from the same old routine.
Yeah.
So there's all kind of little tricks like that. But yeah, that's why I don't go to a lot of channels anymore. Is there's so much toxicity, and I've seen so much of them be run off. You just get tired of it. I still see most of them are
Or they
around,
talk
but
about the same movies over and over again.
that
Like
too.
somebody will decide to talk about Halloween, then all of a sudden you got 40 more channels talking Halloween. Ugh.
That's why you see mine is I keep my channel very different. I'll hit a new movie that's newly released, but then I'll go back like The Gift and Dead Calm and stuff like that. I'm just not going to go and talk about long legs right now because everyone else is talking about long legs right now. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any
Oh,
reason to do that. I'll get around to long legs when everybody else says shut up about it. That's the way I look about it.
Yeah.
and that works for me. But yeah, yeah. And this is fun because it's kind of like different than a video. It's like you're actually in group therapy, you know, you're actually conversing with people. So I understand the
It's different
allure.
than when we're just sitting here messaging each other on the
Right.
messenger app.
It's I see the allure of lives because of that, but I just thought it was more complicated. And
Hmm.
it's surprising that it's not this complicated. And if you wanted to, now you see you can use your tablet. And if anybody else wants you to, if Grande wanted you to drop in, I don't think you would be as scared to drop in for a minute
Yeah.
because you're like, hey, I've done this.
I
And
just don't think, and it's not necessarily anything against Grande. I get it. But, and I think that's a way with a lot of different channels. If you don't have something to promote, if you're not on YouTube or you're not putting out content every single week, they're just not interested in having you as a guest. And like I told you, if it hadn't been for our common love of Betty Davis and I hadn't reached out and asked him, I don't think he would have had me on.
I think you're right. I mean, I think you're right
And
about that.
I'm not really mad about it, but I just think that they don't care unless you have something to promote, or like I said, a YouTube channel. They don't want you on.
I haven't really thought about that, but now that you mention it, I'm thinking about lives that I've seen from people, and I think you're right. I've never really thought about it, but they do always seem to be like self-promoting each other, right? Cross-promoting
Yeah.
each other. It seems to be the only thing they're interested in doing. You're right.
Or if you have a podcast or something to talk about.
That's true.
I mean, it is what it is. I just have to accept it, you know.
But if somebody did want to just sit and talk horror without those kinds of things, you've at least done it now and wouldn't be as what is the word?
Awkward.
Awkward, yeah, about I don't want to look silly trying to get on because
Mm-hmm.
now you know as long as they're using StreamYards, you know your tablet will work. You just click the link and you're in there and because I've been invited. I told you that. Grande, Gore, other people have invited, and I'm just terrified that I'll make a fool of myself trying to get logged in. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think I don't think now I would be as scared. You know, if Gore popped up at 2 o'clock in the morning like he sometimes does, and is like, "Hey, here's the link. You want to jump in?" I wouldn't be as afraid to do that
Yeah.
because we've practiced it now, and my computer has handled it fine. And your tablet has handled it fine.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to try something new.
Sometimes.
Oh yeah,
Sometimes
according to
not.
what? Yeah, sometimes not. Yeah, I mean, if they offer me some fentanyl, I'm going to say no, thank you. But yeah, that's kind of sad that a lot of these channels they just want to cross promote each other.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I don't care about that. I mean, I care. I would wonder why if all of a sudden 500 people left my channel.
But
I
if I quit doing my Instagram and my Facebook stuff about movies and just recorded them and put them on YouTube, I'd probably get a lot more attention. maybe people would, well, I don't know if they would ask me or not, but maybe they would ask me to be on. But because I don't, I'm not really interested in doing YouTube. I'm out of luck. They
Well, you
don't want
saw
me to just come on and talk and bullshit or whatever.
YouTube is very strange, as you saw with the last 4 videos of mine. One is sitting at like 41. Then all of a sudden, that these final hours is like over 200, and the gift is like almost 200, and then yet dead calm is like 20. So YouTube is like hard to deal with if you care about any of that stuff. You have to not care about subscribers. You have to not care about views. Otherwise, you're going to get upset because you don't understand how YouTube works. I don't understand how YouTube works. Why is
Yeah.
why did, when I logged in the next day and these final hours like had near 200 views, I was like, from what? My videos don't get this much. What the hell? And since there's no way for you to understand that ridiculous channel or this
Yeah,
ridiculous channel,
I just meant in respect of me being invited into other channels. Like, if I wasn't doing it on Instagram and YouTube, Facebook, I meant to say, if I wasn't doing it on Instagram and Facebook and I was just recording them on YouTube, whether they got views or not, maybe the fact that I was doing YouTube and showing people I could do it, then they would ask me to be on their channels. But like I said, I just don't have any interest in doing YouTube.
and I think
And
that
it's
goes.
kind of a shame in a way because I have a brain. I think most of my thoughts come across pretty intelligently, but they don't get any attention because I'm not on YouTube.
And it begs the question then, what we've discussed before, and that is that, is the horror community really social? Are they really your friends? Are they really interested in hearing your thoughts? Or is it, like you said, always ulterior motives? Like
Obviously not, you know. That's how
it,
I see it anyway.
cross self promotion, clicks, and stuff like that, but it's not really them caring about an intellectual discussion about horror. It's fandom, cross promotion, and people who
And
happen
that's
to
like
like.
two certain girls I know. Neither one of them have YouTube channels, but they're part of the clique, I guess. And
Yeah,
they get invited all the time to be on other people's YouTube. And
because they.
one of them, she doesn't even review movies at all. She just gets invited on.
Right, exactly. And that's
You
what I
know,
was saying.
not trying to name names or anything, but yeah. Oh, matter of fact, we just had a conversation about her the other night.
Yeah.
She doesn't review anything. She has a letterbox, but all she does is rank the movies. She doesn't give reviews, but she gets on YouTube, invited on there all the time. And I guess this is because she's part of the clique.
Well, actually, about this person that we're talking about, I don't know if you know this about this particular person, but this particular person has also done a lot of financial assistance. Buy me a coffee, Patreon, stuff like that. I don't know if you knew that about her, but in some of the channels that you're talking about, she is on
Oh,
their
you,
Patreon list.
yeah, I
She's
knew
on their
that.
Patreon list. So
Yeah, I knew that.
so the reason for her invites might have a lot to do with that as well. Because it
Yeah,
certainly
I
isn't.
forgot about it till you mentioned it, but yeah, I
Yeah.
did
Mhm.
know that. I just didn't think about it until you brought it up.
that could be another reason because, like another person besides her, it's certainly not for an abundance of horror movie knowledge or her proving that she has horror movie knowledge. I mean, watching the kill count,
But she watches the kill count, dude.
right?
Don't
So
you get in her world it counts?
so that doesn't really count, and it's like, well, what
It
could
does
it
in
be
her
then?
opinion. It does in her opinion.
So I think it's like you. I think it's ulterior things. I think that's the reason person number one gets a lot of invites is the financial support.
Yeah,
Person
I
number
never thought
two,
about it till you brought it up.
person number two, I think they get a lot of invites because of their appearance,
Yeah.
which I don't get personally. But I'm sure that a lot of honky tonk straight boys out there think that person is attractive. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's I think the reasons are there and it's not really good ones. It's not for their intellectual knowledge. It's not for their socialization skills. And I think that's what we were talking about. A lot of it is very, very fake. And it's what Gore talked about a lot,
Or
with
you
these
got to be in
people.
their little. I say it all the time. Their little inner circle, you know.
Right. I believe that is true. And I believe that neither one of us have done some of the requirements to be in those inner circles. Our opinions are very strong. We don't bend to,
Well, I know with me because I like a lot of bad movies. I love my stupid cheesy horror.
yeah,
And I'm sure that probably, oh, we don't want her. All she's going to do is talk about this stupid ass horror
Ginger Dead
movies that
Man.
are. Hey, don't knock it till you tried it. That's all I can say. Don't knock it till you tried it.
I think a
Then
lot of their,
you can bash on it and hate on all you want, but you better damn well make sure you watched it first. That's all I'm
right?
saying.
Exactly. That's why I really don't bash them. I just take your word for it. I take your word for it that they are really badly cheesy, bad movies that are fun to watch.
I have a feeling. Well, you've probably seen him. Uh, his name's Mernsey. He's on Grande's channel a lot. He's been on a couple live shows, but in the chat, he's in the chat just about every week. Anyways, he likes a lot of the same type of movies I do. I think if we ever sat down and have a conversation, we'd probably hit it off because I think we have a lot of the same personality when it comes to
It's a
cheesy movies.
Yeah, I think more of them out there should be a lot more sincere because I'm not going to sit and watch a live with people just stroking each other's egos and are afraid to say what they like and what they don't like. And I think that anyone that brought you or me onto their channel would have to know that we are not going to just go with the flow and the mob rules. If there's something we don't like, we're going to say it. And
Mm-hmm.
if we disagree, we're going to disagree. You know, if Grande wanted me on his channel, I would be happy to be on his channel, but I wouldn't be on his channel to just I wouldn't be on his channel just to agree with whatever he said. And I think he knew
Well,
that.
if he, what was that movie you just reviewed the other night that he hated and you liked?
Soul Survivors.
Yeah. Now, if you would have been on his live when he was talking about that live, I could picture you saying, "Now hold on a minute, Grande," and explaining your point of view, why
Yes,
you like it and he didn't. It
exactly.
would make for a lively discussion, I think.
And a lot of the channels don't want that. I don't think they want that because they can't handle someone disagreeing with them. He would be fine with it. He was fine with it. I went and did a video
Yeah.
for him about it. So
Mm-hmm.
there are people that are really good about it, and then there are people that just don't want any kind of thing like that. Uh, but I love it as long as you don't call me any bad names or like get really dirty about it. I'm perfectly fine with you absolutely hating something I love, you know.
Yeah.
You well, like you said a while ago, you don't like Child's Play 3, and yet that's my favorite Child's Play to this day. That's still my favorite Child's Play. But it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
bother you. It doesn't bother you that that's my favorite Child's Play, and it doesn't bother me that you don't like it.
I have to be honest with you, I've forgotten more of the movie than I remember, but
I think it bothers a lot of them when you don't like what they like. It bothers them.
mm-hmm.
They can't stand it, you know, and they can't resist the urge to call you a bad name for it. And that's why I think the community can use some work.
Yeah.
I understand people. I would. I understand totally why some people don't like gutter balls. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I can certainly understand why people would hate the nail gun massacre. uh, but as long as they didn't call me any ugly names, you know, then why would I care? I would just laugh at them and go, oh, "Come on, man! The nail gun massacre is primo. It is like completely horrible in the best way imaginable."
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure you feel that way about Ginger Dead Man. You know,
Yeah.
I just don't understand why people can't just go, really? Okay, well, that's cool. I don't get it, but okay. All right.
I like to shock people because my personality when I'm in public, I'm fairly conservative. I don't say a lot unless you talk to me first. And if they do start talking to me and they were like, I like rap. And people are like, I can't believe you like rap. Or I'll tell them I'm a horror fan. Oh, no, not you. You can't be a horror fan. You're too nut. It's like, dude, I've watched horror my whole entire life. I wasn't born old. It took me years to get this way.
Yeah, a lot of people are like that with me because I'm a heavy metal skate
It's like,
punk,
what do you
and then
think?
they,
I was born 57 years old? No, I've had 56 years becoming this person. Like,
uh, people are so stuck on their assumptions, is what it is, and they get shocked. You know, me, I'm a heavy metal skate punk, and then they find out that I love bluegrass and classic country, and that I
yeah, I like that.
also
I think it's your thumbnail for your channel, but you have the cowboy hat, and I'm like,
right.
oh, he don't strike me as a cowboy.
Dude, I have got probably $1,000 worth of cowboy shirts back there in my closet. I can dress up and look just like Garth Brooks. You know what I'm saying? I have got a lot of cowboy shirts, but that's just when I want to do it. You know what I mean? It is true that 99% of my time I am listening to heavy metal and grunge and skate punk. But I do like dance music. I do like techno. I do like country, classic country, Dolly Parton, Loretta Lynn, stuff like that. People just make assumptions and then they're shocked, you know, to find out you like rap and I like country, you know.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm quiet. I don't say a lot to other people. I'm not confrontational. And so when people actually sit down and want to try to get to know me, they're shocked because I don't necessarily put that personality out there to the world.
Well, horror fans, what's interesting is that the truth, horror fans and heavy metal fans are actually the least violent, the least problematic group of people on the planet. And
Yeah.
it's probably because horror films and heavy metal and grunge and aggressive rock music are release the aggression in us, and so we're nicer actually. Horror fans and heavy metal fans are actually nicer than your average person on the street. And I think it's because all of our aggression gets released watching horror and headbanging to heavy metal.
Hmm.
So, you know, assumptions are a very bad thing for people to do, and it can make fools of them. They think just because I've got 65% of my collection is horror that I must be a into blood, guts, and a violent person. And I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
So, and I'm guilty of that myself. I walked into my landlord, my old, not the landlord I have now, but I was really great friends with my landlord and her husband, and they were elderly. And
Hmm.
she asked me to fix her computer, so I would go down there all the time. And this one time, she just happened to have a stack of movies that she had just bought sitting on her television. And you have to realize that she was probably about 74 when this
Right.
occurred.
Hmm.
And I walked in there and I walked by the TV and I picked them up and I was like, Miss Harless, what in the hell is this? And she goes, oh, that's some movies that I just got. And I'm like, you watch Saw? And they were like, all four of the movies were violent, bloody horror movies. And this was a 74-year-old lady. And I was like, Miss Harless, what are you doing with all these slashers and sex slashers and Saw it was a couple of slashers and it was one of the Saw movies and it was something else, but they were all four really hardcore horror movies. And she was like, "Oh, I watch that all the time, sweetie. I love my horror movies." And I was like, oh my god, I
Yeah. It's
just
like,
thought I
like
just
I was
thought
saying
she was this.
earlier, it took me years to get this way. I wasn't born old.
I just thought she was this elderly old lady, and I didn't think that she would be sitting there. I'm like, you enjoy sitting there watching Saw 6?
That's
And
like
she's like,
one of my favorite stories about my aunt. As far as I know, she never watched horror. Or never been exposed to it, as far as I know. And I could be wrong, but I mean, she's my aunt. I lived with her for a couple of years. I would think I would know if she had watched horror. Anyway, she come over, knocked over my house uninvited, and I had in Friday the 13th Part 3. And it happened to be right at the barn scene at the end of the movie when Chris and Jason are fighting it out. And she can't hear, but she can lip read. And I figured out that I could tell that she was watching what I was watching. She was actually paying attention. And so I reached for the remote intending to turn it off because I didn't want to freak her out. And she's like, don't you dare turn that off. And it's like, I have the coolest thing ever. I just thought that
it
was so
definitely.
awesome.
I remember like looking at her husband, Mr. Harless, and I was just like, "Do you watch these with her?" He's like, "No, I don't like that crap, but she just eats it up." And so it definitely letting your assumptions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
But
I would have never.
I just thought that was so cool. My aunt, my 70-year-old aunt walks in my house and I got a horror movie and then I go turn on. She's like, don't you dare.
Right, right. Oh, my dad is the same way. I mean, I've told the story about him accidentally taking me and my boyfriend at the time when I was 14. That was the first horror movie that I ever saw. And he took us to the drive-in, and he had no idea. I don't know what he thought Friday the 13th was, but it was a revival at the drive-in, and it was Friday the 13th part 1 and 2. And he took us in there, and he had no idea. And within about 10 minutes, he was screaming to leave when he threw popcorn, because he threw popcorn all over himself at a jump scare. And he wanted to leave, and we just made fun of him, and that made him mad. So he stayed. And that was the first two horror movies I ever saw, was Friday the 13th part 1 and 2. And
Right.
to this day, he will not. And I see it in my own as well, because my youngest, he is an absolute freak for horror movies, but the oldest, he is scared of frogs. I mean, he's got frog fear. Like if he sees a rain frog, he'll start screaming. He doesn't like horror. He doesn't like thrillers. He only likes like comic movies, like superhero movies. He might watch Godzilla and King Kong, but that's about it. Whereas my youngest, all he wants is, to watch Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and stuff like that. So I don't know what it is about people that some people are just into it and some people are just not.
Yeah.
I mean, he was raised
And
around horror movies.
he could change as he gets older. He could change and end up liking them.
He was raised around them, but he's scared to death. But the younger one is just like not scared of anything and loves horror movies.
But I know he's your oldest, but he could still change as he gets older and say, "Oh, that's why my dad liked it so much."
Exactly. Maybe, hopefully. I just think they have really different mindsets, and he just doesn't care.
Yeah.
Because the youngest is a lot more like me than the oldest. The older is like me in all the ways that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Very sarcastic, very opinionated, and stuff like that. But he just doesn't like some of the things that I like. He doesn't like horror. He loves heavy metal though. They're both heavy metal kids, so that bled over. But for some reason, he just, as my youngest calls him, he's a scaredy cat. He's a fraidy cat, and I don't know where he got that from.
Well, that's like one of my mom's favorite actors was Rucker Hauer, and she would watch any movie. I don't care if it was a big hit movie or if it was a total disaster. She would watch it because Rucker Hauer was in it. Well, me being a teen and rebellious, and I refused to like anything that my mother liked because that's to in my teenage mind that wasn't cool. Like I can't possibly like the same thing my mother likes, and now I like Rucker Hauer.
Right. I've thought about that long time ago. I thought about that. Was it just rebellion? But it's not. He really does have nightmares and stuff. I think he's got too active of an imagination, and he's suffered like nightmares a lot, night terrors, and I don't know where that came from. So he really is like I said, he's scared of frogs. Who the hell's scared of a frog? You know what I mean? But
actually, I just found out recently they're poisonous.
Only certain ones, and usually in the Amazon, not in America, and not a pretty little green rain frog. Pretty little green rain frogs aren't poisonous. But my youngest always calls him a fraidy cat, and that is kind of what he is. And he's not even bothered by that. You know what I'm saying? He will tell you that will
Yeah.
scare me. I don't want to watch it. That will scare me.
Hmm.
And I'm like, well, why are you so afraid? I just don't like to be scared. He just doesn't like to be scared. Whereas my youngest, he loves to be scared. I love to be scared, you know. Uh Not legitimately scared though. I don't really want a psychopath chasing me through the trailer, you know. But I like jump scares in movies. I like it when it gets me. But he just doesn't have that personality. He doesn't like to be scared. And that's perfectly okay. I've never told him that there was anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
I mean, if he doesn't like horror movies, he doesn't like horror. That's cool. That's why he has a giant stack of superhero movies. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, you gotta let them be themselves.
Like I said, he's like me in all the ways that matter to me. And
Yeah.
that's what counts. Okay, well, we've made it 2 hours and 11 minutes. I guess we can cut this thing off. It'll be
Yeah. If
there.
I don't get to bed pretty soon, I'm gonna be useless tomorrow.
But it was fun to get to talk on here, and now it's forever on YouTube for everybody to watch and laugh at us.
Oh, I hope you delete it. I don't want to
No,
miss you me like that.
I even changed the title to Late
Oh
Night
no.
Horror Haven. I changed it to Late Night Horror Haven with Miss Carter.
Ah,
So, so
you can
yeah,
take it down.
who knows?
I feel so stupid on here.
You might get some invites now.
Yeah, I doubt it. I feel totally stupid. Feel free to take it down.
I always feel stupid. Don't let my pretense that I'm not feeling stupid fool you. I feel stupid right now. But that's okay
Yeah.
because I see all the other channels and they're all stupid too in their own
All
ways.
right.
All right, I will talk
Well,
to you
maybe
later.
somebody will get a good chuckle out of this.
Exactly. I'll talk to you
I'll
later
see you
and
later.
thanks for helping me test all this out. It was a good bit of fun.
Well, now I know I can get on it with my tablet,
Correct.
which was
And
always
not
my big thing.
and not have any technical issues either. Everything's worked perfectly fine.
Yeah, I guess. All right.
But,
Well,
all
I'll
right.
talk to you. Like I said, I'm going to be ruined if I don't get off here. I'll be useless tomorrow.
Night night
So good
all.
night.
Anybody that
Bye.
watches this later, bye bye.
Bye.